To help my young daughter start her magical enlightenment, I asked the Silver Dragon Queen for the key to her private library. At this moment, I suddenly wanted to know what elements of my eldest daughter's awakening were. The Silver Dragon Queen reluctantly said that the elements of her eldest daughter were exactly the same as mine. I am very happy about this, and look forward to the awakening of my young daughter. After entering the private library of the Silver Dragon Queen, I used the books here to teach my young daughter related knowledge. She learns knowledge very quickly, and she hopes she can keep up with her sister's learning. No matter which race, they will awaken a magical element during the enlightenment and awakening stage. This represents the user's original power. For example, Leon's awakening element is the thunder element. The awakening element of Roswitha is the fire element. Through postnatal learning, people can master the elemental magic of other attributes. However, in terms of controlled difficulty and learning speed, elemental magic of other attributes is not as powerful as one's innate element awakened at the beginning. However, there are also a very small number of geniuses who can awaken two elemental magic, which can be said to be a rare existence. For example, some people can awaken both the wind element and the water element at the same time, and they can use them simultaneously. Whether in battle or daily life, awakening two elements is a very beneficial thing for users. There was a knock on the door of Roswitha's office. Then, Leon opened the door and walked into the office. He told Roswitha his purpose for coming here. At this moment, Roswitha was sitting leisurely in her seat, reading a book. She knew it was Leon without looking up. She supported her head with one hand and flipped the book to another page with the other hand. "Do you want to go to my private library?" Leon crossed his hands in front of his chest and leaned easily against the office door. He explained to Roswitha, "Muin is about to start her magic enlightenment. I don't have much experience in this area, so I would like to borrow some books related to Dragon Clan enlightenment magic and go back to learn." In order to help Muin smoothly begin her magical enlightenment, Leon hopes to use the books in Roswitha's private library to learn about the magical enlightenment of the Dragon Clan and provide Muin with some magic-related knowledge. Roswitha didn't immediately agree to Leon. She lifted her head and stared at Leon for a moment, seeming to have some doubts about his purpose of entering her private library. However, Roswitha didn't think too much about it. She answered Leon, "Okay." She opened the second drawer of her desk. In this drawer, aside from the two books she needs for work, there is also a brown box placed on top of the books. She put the two keys to her library here. Roswitha took out two keys and threw them directly to Leon standing at the door. Then, she lowered her head and continued to look at the book on the table. She said to him, "You can take whatever book you want to read by yourself." Leon raised his hand and easily grabbed the key. He thanked Roswitha. "Thanks." Leon turned around and secretly smiled. He tightly grasped the key in his hand and silently said in his heart, "I didn't expect to get the key so easily. I searched through the library before, but couldn't find any content related to magic exhaustion. I can only try my luck in the Roswitha's private book collection. In fact, in addition to looking for books related to magic enlightenment, Leon also plans to find the reason for his magic exhaustion from the relevant books in Roswitha's private library. He needs to know what exactly is causing his magic to not be fully unleashed. When Leon was about to leave Roswitha's office, Roswitha suddenly called out to him. "Oh, wait." Upon hearing Roswitha's voice, Leon froze in place for an instant. He slowly turned his head to look at Roswitha and asked her, "What's wrong?" At this moment, he felt a little nervous. He silently said in his heart, "Don't tell me you're going back on your word." He was worried that Roswitha might suddenly change her mind and not want him to go to her library. Roswitha placed her hand on her chin and pondered for a moment. She asked Leon, "What kind of magical element did you awaken during your magical enlightenment?" Perhaps because Leon just mentioned the topic of magical awakening, Roswitha was a little curious about the element of Leon's awakening. Leon turned around and answered Roswitha, "Thunder element. How about you?" Roswitha casually placed her hands on the desk and answered Leon, "Fire element." After enlightenment, almost all the dragons of the Dragon clan awakened the fire elements. Don't you know? Leon felt a little unhappy about Roswitha's words. For him, who ranks first in every subject, it is impossible for him not to know this knowledge. He frowned slightly and muttered, "Of course I know. Just asking casually." At this moment, Leon seemed to remember something. He crossed his hands and placed them on his chest, thinking seriously for a while. So, which element will the dragon of human-dragon hybrid awaken to? He knew that Noah and Muin were both children of mixed race between humans and dragons. Due to being in a coma for the first 2 years, he missed Noah's magical enlightenment period, so he didn't know the elements of her awakening. Leon walked up to Roswitha's desk and asked her, "What element did Noah awaken to in the beginning?" Roswitha lowered her head slightly and looked aside, not wanting to look directly into Leon's eyes. She seemed unwilling to reveal the elements of Noah's awakening to Leon. She rubbed her hands together, feeling a bit conflicted. She answered Leon softly, "Thunder." Because Roswitha's volume was too low, Leon didn't seem to hear what she was saying clearly. He turned his ear towards her and said to her, "What?" Roswitha couldn't help but slap her table hard and shouted at Leon, "Thunder element. Noah's awakening element is the same as yours, okay?" Roswitha felt a bit unhappy about Leon's attitude. Although she didn't want to admit it to him, she had to tell him the truth. She knew that Leon would definitely feel proud of this, as if he had taken a step ahead of her in a game. Upon hearing that the element of Noah's awakening was thunder, Leon felt very satisfied. This also indicates that Noah's body contains his own power. This makes him feel very happy. He easily turned the key with his fingers and showed off to Roswitha. "Oh, my daughter follows her father. It's normal that she inherited my power. Hey, maybe Muin will also awaken the thunder element." Leon showed a proud expression and tightly grasped the key in his hand. He expressed great confidence in the elements that Muin may awaken in the future. Roswitha was very angry about Leon's words. He did not think that the elements of Mune's awakening would be the same as him. She said to him with an unhappy tone, "Ha! You wait. The element of Mune's awakening must be the fire element." A strange desire to win sprouted within Leon and Roswitha's hearts. Leon approached Roswitha and emphasized his answer to her. "It's thunder." Roswitha was not to be outdone. She also expressed a strong affirmation of her answer. "It's fire."